You shouldn't. She probably ate at the Orlando Outback. So true. They didn't even cut the fucking blooming onion. Shit was only half breaded. I'm sure it happens all the time, man. There's like, I couldn't believe when I said that my shorts got so sweaty, my phone accidentally called 911. There were like 8 people that were like, the exact same thing happened to me. In fact, I think somebody said the exact same thing happened to me today. That's how hot it was. Also, thank you. Someone in chat said, I'm a 911 dispatcher. And we literally field like 8 calls a day from people at Disney World accidentally. So don't feel bad. I completely believe it. I was also stunned at Disney World that there were just not because of the, the thrill rides, but just because of the temperature. I was stunned that there weren't people like dropping dead. I'm not saying I was rooting for it. I was just like it's 36 degrees. It feels like 45. It's 99% humidity. And a water is $3.75. And there's no shade unless you want to go on the Little Mermaid ride for the 12th time. It's crazy that people were not dying. I didn't even see anybody pass out. I definitely did see some people that were like near passing out, but I know how this sounds. I mean this in a complimentary fashion. I do think it's a testament to the American spirit. And I know maybe it's funnier that it's at Disney World instead of like, at a place that's real. I don't know, like toiling in like a volcano or a mine or something like that. But I was proud of America when I was there. They booked the vacation 11 months ago. They said it's going to be hot. They said, oh, whatever, we'll just deal with it. And then it was the hottest like it's ever fucking been in Orlando. And they said, we're running it. We booked this trip last year. This was our post-COVID trip as a family. We got matching shirts that say we're here for like my dad's 80th birthday. Suck it up. You're going to lose 8 kilos of sweat by the time you make it out. We're staying at the Magic Kingdom for 13 hours. You're riding every single fucking ride while we're here. No offense, Europe. I feel like if that shit went down at Disneyland Paris, if it felt like 45 degrees Celsius, 99% humidity, it would have been record low attendance at the Magic Kingdom. You probably could have gotten on Remy's Parisian Adventure. You could have looped it. Get off, get on, get off, get on. You wouldn't have had any competition. Avatar Flight of Passage ride, 180-minute standby line. The line's stretching 17 miles, serpentine behind you. Now, we didn't see that because we had Genie Plus, but that's what I heard. Regardless, they showed out, man. It's a testament to the American fortitude. I can't imagine being a mascot. There definitely has to be like some kind of hierarchy at Disney World, right? Like when it's record hot, the newest motherfucker working there has to be Winnie the Pooh, right? And then like Buzz Lightyear with the air-conditioned helmet and shit, that's like some dude he's the union head or something like that. I was laughing. We ate at a restaurant like it was Winnie the Pooh themed. I know you're gonna laugh, but it's fucking Disney World. What do you expect? But then also, the food at the Winnie the Pooh restaurant was fucking good, man. It was surprising. It was just normal food. It wasn't just like all honey or anything like that. Crystal Palace. That's what I said when I said, you motherfuckers, how do you know so much about Disney? I only learned about this shit because I was there. Anyway, the food was good. But I was laughing because they have the characters come to your table, right? Winnie the Pooh comes to the table. No big deal. It's Winnie the Pooh. He's affable. He's social. He's a little dumb, but that's why we love him. Tigger comes to the table. He's silly. He's bouncing around. He's trying to communicate with like the mascot sign language because they're not allowed to talk, even though they talk in the fucking show. Whatever, I'm not running the place, okay? Piglet comes over, does some belly laughs. The best though, why they got Eeyore at the Winnie the Pooh restaurant coming around, man? The dude's defining trait is that he's depressed. If you made Eeyore, dude, like he's walking around to every table and then like dancing and like posing for pictures and giving people hugs. If that shit happened on the show, this motherfucker would kill himself. He would be dead. I get that he's like your favorite character, but it's just, there's like a dissonance between the character as they are on the show and the character as they are in the restaurant. This is not in keeping with the character of Eeyore to be paraded around to every single table and walk in the damn honey march every 20 minutes, right? If any, they should have him in like a box or something. You could be like, that's Eeyore. And you'd be like, hey, Eeyore, can we take a photo? He'd be like, sure, I guess. Can't come up to every table and go like, I'm Eeyore. It doesn't make any damn sense. Anyway. What was I talking about? You said there's no scaling, right? What do you call, never mind. They thought about that one, huh? What did you get at the Winnie the Pooh restaurant? Brother, it was a buffet. I got, let me think about this. I'm going to be honest with you. My ass, like, I was eating good. I wasn't eating a whole lot of junk food. Because, I mean, my daughter didn't finish her kids' meal every day. So basically with every meal, I got like one free chicken tender, basically. But apart from that, when I go to a buffet, I don't go to the buffet to fill up on fucking 5 out of 10 fried chicken, okay? If you want to get the max value out of the buffet, that's fine, I understand. I go more for the variety, okay? So what did I get at the Winnie the Pooh restaurant? Here's something you won't hear that. I was probably the first person to do it. I had a red lentil soup to start. Then I had some spiced flatbread, like lavash. Had a couple of cold cuts, just like a little bit of girl dinner, you know, to get started. I had... there was like a Mediterranean style pasta salad I had. I got some soy marinated salmon. How many Coke Zeros? Okay, I do want to say one thing though. Before we get into the Coke Zeros, I did have some vanilla soft serve, and then I took a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie and I crumbled it into the soft serve, and then I ate it. And my niece saw me and she said, that's a good idea. She went and did the same thing. And then I think I got some cool uncle points. Also, I'm definitely going to be a cool uncle because I got recognized at Disney World. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And recognized on the plane as well. So I think they're like, holy cow, Uncle Ryan's famous. Not really, but if you see 150,000 people, a couple of them might know me. Now, I did have, it's a real tweet, okay? It's a tweet that really happened. I did have 4 Coke Zeros with lunch on Thursday. Let me defend myself briefly. Free refills. We were in the pool all morning, so I was fucking thirsty. And also, I didn't know this at the time, but I had a gestating sunburn, okay, on the top of my head. Now, I don't know about you. When I get a sunburn, one of the first symptoms of the sunburn, like before the red skin, is my body is like, you're thirsty as fuck, bro. So I just kept drinking the Coke Zeros. I didn't even go to the bathroom. I just have 4, I no-sold 4 Coke Zeros. But the waitress, she was kind of pissing me off a little bit, man. Because she was like, after the second Coke Zero, she said, somebody's thirsty. And I was like, yeah, me. It's fucking hot outside. And then she was like, I'll get you another one. And I said, oh, thank you. And then she was like, sir, it's no problem. But she didn't say like, she said it like I was making like this is just a social cue, okay? I can't replicate her tone. But the tone, the communication between the lines was, it's an imposition. I shouldn't have to get you 3 Coke Zeros, but I'm going to get you your third Coke Zero. Then I was like, I had 30% of the third Coke Zero left. And she said, do you want another one? And I said, please don't. Because if you bring it, I'm just going to drink it. And then she said, no way, sir. I got you. And she brought me another one. But it's like, I didn't want the other one. Because as soon as she brought it, I just drank it. So what am I supposed to do? I got an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old with me. They take like an hour to eat a meal that's like this big. Of course, if you put a Coke Zero in front of me, I'm going to, you put like unleaded gasoline in a cup in front of me, I'll probably drink it out of boredom. Ask for a water? I didn't want a water because it doesn't taste as good as fucking Coke Zero. Sorry. Okay, for one round, I'm giving you this. So I had 4 Coke Zeros, yeah. But I do think that it's crazy to think about the fact that if I had, okay, listen. If I had 4 beers at lunch at like 11:45 a.m., she probably would have thought to herself, like, what's wrong with this guy? But like, if it was 8 p.m. and you ordered 4 drinks, people would be like, that's not that abnormal. But you get 4 Coke Zeros, people are like, holy, whoa, somebody's thirsty. Save some Coke Zero for the, it doesn't make it, it's just liquid. But for some reason, like, hey, you get out of here. Meanwhile, like, I feel like, I don't know if anybody else, sorry, I just got back from a week at Disney World, okay? I'm not going to apologize for talking about, people want banter, but then they're like, oh, it's too much Disney World talk? What do you want me to do? I can only speak from what I know. I did feel like at Epcot, we were there until close. I felt like the vibe at Epcot sort of shifted around like 5 or 6 p.m. It went from like little kids that were like, I want to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, to like groups of tank top wearing adults that were like starting to have fights with each other. Like they were starting to have you see like a couple in matching shirts like sitting on a bench, and you're just like, while you're walking by, all you hear is like, I just think it's funny that you would, and you're like, oh shit. Like, and they're gonna wake up the next day and be like, that was so much fun. Holy cow. I felt like the vibe was definitely different post-dinner. Disney sells an Epcot after 4 p.m. pass to Florida residents. There you go. There you go. I told you the vibe changed. They let the locals in. Hi, Tomo. What am I doing with my life? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I'm rolling until I see a unit that matches a unit I already have, thereby guaranteeing that I will lose. This is the way. How long were the queues? We got Genie Plus, so the queues are not bad. I know, I've seen the Defunctland video. The Fast Pass makes it worse for everybody. I get it. But if you don't buy the Fast Pass, it's a lot worse for you. You don't, like, if I could talk to everybody going to Magic Kingdom tomorrow, Tomo, you gotta go, man. And I could say, hey, we're doing a thing. None of us buy the Genie Plus tomorrow, okay? If I could do that and have it work, then that would be a different story. But there's no way that's going to happen, because as soon as we say don't buy the Genie Plus, people are going to be like, I'm buying the Genie Plus, because holy cow, that value is going to be crazy. So my wife is like, she was a pro. Buddy, First time I'm going to show you off a little bit here. Hello. She woke up early every day. She got us Genie Plus. She booked the right lightning lanes at the right time so that, I mean, if you have a great organizer and you get the fast pass, I would say the maximum I waited in line for anything was like 45 minutes, which is crazy. But it was also expensive. But that was also like way better than waiting in line for anything for 3 hours, which is nuts. That's insane. I waited in line 3 hours for Star Wars. Really? With the Genie Plus? I gotta say, it's also kind of fun. And sometimes I will I'll exaggerate. This may come as a shock to you. I'll exaggerate my opinion or preference on something for comedic value, okay? Sometimes. It's been known to happen. This may shock you. This is me being real. Oftentimes, we would do this thing called rider switch, which basically allows, like, it's if you're in a group but like one person doesn't want to or can't ride the ride, but you have to stay with them, then you basically talk to the staff and you're like, hey, I want to ride this, but I'm with this group, but somebody needs to look after our baby, so can I skip the line? And they're like, yeah, no problem. So the first people go through and they wait in the line, and then you kind of jump the queue at the end. So you don't have to spend 6 hours to get 4 people to ride one ride when you got a kid. Which is nice. It's very nice. This is another way that people with kids stay winning. So that means on a couple of rides, I basically rode by myself and became like a part of another family. And it was kind of nice, honestly. When I rode Rise of the Resistance, I got adopted into like an older Italian family. The dad and the son were sitting in the back. I was sitting up front with the mom. We were both ducking under stormtrooper lasers and stuff like that. And then as soon as the restraints came up at the end of the ride, I got the fuck out of there. Because I was like, I don't want to have like a post-ride recap with these people. I don't know who they are. Are you crazy? Then with Guardians of the Galaxy ride was kind of weird because I was on it solo. But like you go into a room and Terry Crews talks to you through a TV for a little bit. And I like to think that I'm not a saint, but I'm a good guy. So they say, hey, everybody move up, like as far as you can move up. I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I'm taller than a lot of the people at Disney World because they're little kids, right? So I moved up until there was like one body length or body width between me and the line in front of me just to create a cushion. And then this dad and his young son, who was like 5 or 6, came up and they were standing behind me. So I looked at the dad and said, hey, you guys can go up here if you want so you can see better. And he took offense to it. He was like, nah, I think we're good. And he didn't even put his kid on his shoulders or anything like that. Like his kid was just standing around the height of my kneecap, like not able to see anything. And I was like, oh, no big deal. But then I ended up riding with them on the ride. And it was like the kid was getting yelled at, which, I mean, he was misbehaving, but still I was like, this is probably not how you imagined the vacation going down. The kid was trying to like just jump over the restraints or like the gate to get onto the track and stuff like that, but still. I was like, man, why don't you should have just taken the spot and moved up, man. Now it's awkward. I'm not having a good run, huh? Was he one of those leash backpack kids? He wasn't. No, the Twitter video. Dan, you didn't go through what I went through this week, okay? I was on roaming, okay? I couldn't make a Twitter video. But I will. What am I supposed to say again? That Super Auto Pets is the most overrated game of all time? Something along those lines. I have to rip my beating heart out of my chest. By the way, this isn't the same bird, I'm just realizing. Do you see how crazy that is? You have to dunk on Hades and slay the spire. I can do that. I could do that. It'll rip my beating heart out of my chest, but I could do that. Someone just asked, I was talking about a misbehaving child and an angry parent at Disney World. Then someone asked me, was it one of those leash kids? And here's what I was about to say, okay? Let's get my ass beat here. I understand looking down at the parents who have their kid on a leash. As a parent who has a kid who does not need to go on a leash, I do understand the leash parents, though. Because, like, I get the idea you don't want to have your kid on a leash because then you're one of those parents. But you also don't want to have your child dart out into traffic and make a mistake in a fraction of a second that leads to them getting hit by a bus. So I think it'd be like an alleged nut. It's not a 90s thing. I've seen some kids on leashes in the modern era as well. Here's the thing. I don't think the parents really want to put the kid on a leash. You know, it's not something that a normal person goes like, oh yeah, I want my kid leashed up. I think it's more like I keep telling my kid, hey, walk on the sidewalk all the time, never walk on the road, but then they keep getting distracted and walking on the damn road, and I don't want them to get hit by a car. So, like, I saw it in the 90s. I don't see it that much anymore. Well, does your ass go to, Gymboree? Are you at you going to Disneyland or something, like going to Disney World? You going to Legoland or something like that? I mean, were you a kid in the 1990s is really what I'm trying to ask, because if you were a kid in the 90s, you were probably going to places where there were lots of other kids in the 90s. That's where you see a kid on a leash. If you're like 29 years old right now and you hang out in like cool bars and restaurants and stuff like that don't sell chicken fingers, then you're probably not going to see too many kids on leashes. You're probably not seeing too many kids at all, except occasionally in your work from home all hands stand-up meeting at 9, 10 a.m. every day. You might see someone's kid walk behind them, and then you'll be like, get out of the frame, I'm going to get fired. But like, that kid's not going to be on a leash, because who would be holding it? Because both parents have to work to sustain themselves in today's modern economy. I lost my kid at Disney World once. Most terrifying 5 minutes of my life. This is no joke. At least once a day, I would be walking and I'd be doing this. You know, you do the keys, wallet, phone check. I added niece, baby to the keys, wallet, phone check, just to make sure that I had everything. And I would do it like once every 15 minutes just to make sure like you're establishing like a chain of custody here and stuff like that. At least once a day, I would go keys, wallet, phone, because that's the most important part. You always got to put on your own oxygen mask before anybody else's. Then I would go niece, oh my God, where's our baby? And then I would freak out for like 3/4 of a second. And then I would be like, oh, right, she's in the stroller that I'm pushing right now. Okay, everything's fine. And the worst part is, like, I would know that it was going to happen once a day and it would still happen. But anyway. Why not? It's not like we're doing anything else. What stroller do you own? DL Guiga, you're really making use of the VIP tag, huh? You really putting it to work. I'm shopping right now. I'm just... We have... Well, see, now you've accidentally hit like a gold mine, and I'm going to get made fun of, okay? We have 2 strollers. So we got a stroller that we use for, your day-to-day walking if she needs a nap or something like that. And then we have a travel stroller that's a lot smaller, that's easier to take if we have to fly somewhere. Why don't you have one stroller? Because if we just got the comfort stroller, well, you know what it fucking is? The comfort stroller is fucking huge. It's like a Chrysler Town & Country, okay? So it's luxurious. It's an Opel Baby Vista. I don't want to brag. It gives you it's got shock absorbers, it's got independent wheel alignment and piloting and stuff like that. The thing is, if we folded this shit up, we couldn't fit it in our trunk with all of our bags. So then we got another tiny stroller. I don't really remember the name of it, but that one we take with us. The Vista's nice. Why are you talking like you own like a stroller dealership? That's like the dude when I was walking in Vancouver, and like a dude on the street, not a dude that was walking on the street, I mean a dude that was like laying on the street, said, "Hey, nice Oppa Baby Vista. I guess you guys aren't planning on having another one?" I was like, who do you think you are, man? I don't even know who you are. You're basically going like, you're the, I'm trying to think of a famous car salesman and I can't. But it's like the world's greatest stroller understander has logged on, and then he doesn't know. Maybe I'm shooting blanks. I had a Vista. It was the nap stroller. It's a good stroller, brother. It's a good stroller, okay? Are you shooting blanks? I don't know. I'm not sending my cum to the lab, once a month. I wasn't shooting blanks 3 years ago, I'll tell you that much. Those were live rounds, hollow points. What are they? Full metal jacket. But things change. I don't know. I've had a couple of dental x-rays since then. You never know. Go for it. Ooh. TNT, high voltage, cyanide, dunder cheap. So Dan, I was telling this story, that like we had a Lyft driver who got in a verbal confrontation with another car at the parking lot or at the airport while we were getting out of his car. I'm asking this question honestly. What percentage of Floridians do you think have a gun in their car? Because I'm always on my best behavior in public, even at Epcot. Hang on, this is about to go crazy hamburger. But I was definitely, especially outside of Disney World, I was aware of the fact that it's like, don't fuck with anyone, because they might kill you. Basically, I mean, I think you'd be lying if it didn't go through your head, at least as a Canadian visiting Florida. But our Uber driver was just like, he was lighting this lady up, and I was like, we're going to be on the news, man. She's probably got a CZ90 in her glove compartment or something like that. She might have a P90 in her glove compartment for all I know. Or like a FAMAS. I only know Counter-Strike guns. She might have a Reaper in there, or an AWP. You watch the news too much? I don't watch the news. The news comes to me. As I don't turn on the news every day. Just every once in a while on Twitter, you'll be like, tragic, Lyft driver gets entire family killed by just having no patience. It's a tale as old as time. Florida seems kind of crazy. I mean, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm really going off on Florida. People from Ohio are probably watching this right now like, yes, yes. I always, whenever I talked about like my personal, this is not like a ranking of how valid they are, okay? It's just a ranking of like my perception of them. Whenever people were like, rank the American states, I'm like, boom, California, New York, number one. Go ahead, boo me if you want to. Washington, Oregon, way up there. Throw in a Colorado or something like that. But then right below that, I would be like, Texas? Because at least it has its own, like I might not agree with everybody in Texas. It's got its own culture. It's got a great cuisine. It's got many big cities. It's got its own identity and stuff like that. And I said the same thing about Florida. I said Florida might not necessarily be for me, but it's got a world-class city in the form of Miami. It has I'm not getting into it too. I was going to say good economy, but I'm not trying to, because I don't know where it is in the economic rankings or whatever, but it's noteworthy. Like, it's not like fucking Indiana, right? Like, who knows anything about Indiana? The Colts play there and they do an auto race. Okay, but like, what's the Indiana identity, right? Like, if you met someone at the airport and you were like, where are you flying to? They're like, Indianapolis. You'd be like, oh, you have family there? They'd be like, nah. You'd be like, what the fuck is wrong? You're vacationing in Indianapolis? No disrespect to people that are watching the stream for Indianapolis. I just don't get it. But anyway, it might be great to live there. I don't know. I'm just saying to visit. So I had previously said that Florida is like, at least it's not just like a state. It's Florida. It's got oranges. It's got beaches. It's got Miami. Good food and some. Then when I was in Orlando, I was like, I would rather live in Indiana than live in Orlando, straight up. I'm sure the winters are a lot worse in Indiana, but like, there were some times in Orlando where I was like, I'm scared. Also, it's too fucking hot. You guys got to do something about that. Like, our ass is up here, it's borderline temperate most of the time. It's basically pleasant. And we're doing compost. Your ass is getting cooked down there in the swamp. You're not even recycling. Are you stupid? Anyway. You guys ever swallow the leftmost shop pet and release it at level 1 after fainting? Tomo, Tomo, Tomo. I shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have said it. Also, the thing that is, I know I said I wasn't going to go on. Dennis Miller holding a gun like this. Lord, forgive me, but I'm going to have to go back to the old me. And he's going off on a rant. Don't abuse your mod powers, Daniel. I'm unpinning your message after a customized timing of 1 minute. You have been compromised to a semi-permanent end. The big culture shock that I always, and it's very mundane, but the big culture shock that I have whenever I'm in the United States is that 1 in 3 people is wearing college football merchandise. It's sincerely, I know you're going to say like in Canada, isn't 1 in 3 people wearing like a shirt with the Montreal Canadiens logo on it? No. They're mostly wearing Hurley, like me. It's a uniquely American phenomenon, man. They're wearing a lot of college football shirts. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just something you notice. Let me put it that way. They're wearing Habs gear out east. Well, listen, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't see like at least a few Toronto Blue Jays hats every time I leave my house, even here in Vancouver. But like, I mean, the college football merchandise it's out of control. I get it, don't get me wrong. 1 in 4 in Vancouver wearing Arc'teryx. Yes, that is definitely something you would notice. Watch this shit right here. Oh, a pineapple? Why would you do that? Because you sell it, and then you get some cheap pineapples. Pineapple for $1? I don't think so. In this economy? Say OH in an Ohio airport and you'll be shocked. Or in an airport in America and you'll be shocked. Oh, I already know about that. Like, you're going to laugh. I found out about that from the damn Disney cruise. I had no idea. I was just in a room and somebody said OH and like 20 motherfuckers were like IO. It's like, like your ass is in like Puerto Vallarta right now. What are you doing? What is it? It spells Ohio. I mean, if you could figure it out, I'm sure. I'm from Ohio. We mostly hate that. All right. I'm just saying, listen, you owe it to yourself to go on a Disney cruise then. And if somebody says OH, you got to stand up and be like, I want you to know that I'm also from Ohio, but I am choosing not to engage in this. And then I would be like, that's the guy. Chad, you wouldn't believe it. There was this crazy dude on the ship with us. Holy cow. And for no reason, he got into a fight with a bunch of other people. All he had to do was say IO. I mean, come on. Hey, Tech923, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I would say like probably the craziest part about Ohio is that I don't even like know anything about it. But I definitely, that doesn't stop me from talking about it. Like, I just want, do people from Ohio know that nobody knows what the fuck a Buckeye is? It's a Buckeye state. This state is shaped like a Buckeye. What the fuck is a Buckeye, bro? Is the eye of a cow? Please don't get them started. It's a chestnut? What the hell? I had no idea. It's a nut, you ass? With God as my witness, I did not know that. I bet 75% of Chat Plus had no idea that a Buckeye was a nut. I had no idea. What the hell is a Vancouver? It's a guy from England who discovered a place that like tens of thousands of people were already living in. The city's so nice they named it twice. I thought it was a bean. Listen, don't you have some OHs to IO to? Stop wasting my time. I don't know what I'm doing. I keep losing my train of thought because I'm talking too much. And also, I don't have anything against Ohio anymore. I did before I went to Central Florida. I had something against Ohio when I had been to Miami, because when I left Miami, I was like, I get it, but it's not for me. When I left Orlando, I was like, even if the plane crashes, at least we made it off the runway. That's all I could ask for. The parks were great. It's simply the normal parts of Orlando that were frightening. I'm not slandering Disney. I was thinking, everybody knows this, okay? Listen, I don't want to get in trouble here, okay? I get accused a lot of being a Disney adult, and I'm losing the ability to credibly run defense against that, okay? Because I'm going on the Disney cruises, I'm going to Disney parks, and I'm having fun. What I will say is I'm not walking around with like a Mickey Mouse tattoo, or like I'm not an adult who's like, I got to take a picture with Gaston from Beauty and the Beast or something like that. Regardless, I was thinking about, and not with admiration, but rather just with interest. How strong is the brand at Disney that Mickey Mouse has not done shit in 100 years? And I saw at least 5,000 people with a tattoo of that motherfucker on their tricep. He hasn't been in any movies. He hasn't done anything. He's just simply a symbol of the company. And people were like, that one right there, I want it on my body forever. The Disney brand is so strong. Again, much like the fact that people weren't dying, it was like a testament to the American spirit. It feels like it's one of the few things remaining that unites America and even the world across demographics. You would see people in like a MAGA 2024 hat. They'd be eating at a restaurant across from somebody wearing like a Pride backpack, and they'd be smiling and waving at each other. You see people from all walks of life. You see the young, the old, the rich, the poor. It is very expensive though, but I don't know, maybe it's like a situation. They made it happen is all I'm trying to say. Everybody's there. They're all, and they're in line at Disney World. They're there at the park. They'll wait in line for 30 minutes to watch a movie about the motherfucker who made Disney World. When they're inside of Disney World, they will wait in line to watch a documentary feature about Walt Disney. The dude's been dead since like 1963. You could just catch it on YouTube. But they're like, that's how much they love Disney. It's got to be like one of the strongest brands on the planet, which is crazy. The Mickey Mouse thing is crazy to me. He doesn't do anything. I mean, if you're 107 years old and you're like, I love Mickey Mouse, I'm like, I get it. When you saw that dude going like, that probably blew your mind. But if you're like 22 and you got a tattoo of Mickey Mouse, I'm sorry to say this to you, that company owns you. He hasn't done, if you got a tattoo of like a Pixar character, I get, at least it came out when you were like a kid. You got a tattoo of Mickey Mouse as someone born in like the year 2000? You're right. You know what? You're right. You better be a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. But also, I do want to say I'm being judgmental, but I'm also not being judgmental. Because whatever's fun for you, go ahead and keep it up. I don't want to yuck your yum. This is just one of those things where I'm like, but it's surprising. It's just surprising to me. It's rare there's an NL rant I completely agree with to this degree. Thank you. Can I now maybe lose you or maybe bring you back? All that being said, the parks are like, they're a marvel of engineering and logistics. I can't fathom the amount of moving parts that are going on in any Disney World park. It's insanity. Like when you go to the airport, you know how hard it is for like 200 people to all be in the right place at the right time and sit in the seat that it says on the ticket? That's why they tell you to be at the airport 3 hours early, is because like 4 people are going to fuck it up for everybody else. At Disney World, it's just fucking you. How many people? 5? Are you going to go 2 and 3 or are you going to go 2, 2, 1? I think we're going to go 2 and 3. All right, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Go. They just... Hey, a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far away. Wait, we'll get to that later. Like, it's so fast. It's mind-boggling. It's an incredible logistics phenomena. I can see why people are like obsessed with theme parks. Because there's no like naturally occurring theme park in the world, you know? Like we, and by we I mean our species, fucking created that. It's like that tweet about Coca-Cola. It's like Coca-Cola is the best American invention. It's like a wonder of the world and civilization because it's like a man-made flavor that didn't exist in the wild. Like man had to reach into his own psyche and pull out fucking Coca-Cola. I mean that unironically, by the way. I think it's true. It's amazing. Theme parks are like that. What do you think cola nuts are? Brother, this shit doesn't... Ask people what Coca-Cola tastes like. Tastes like a cola nut. OH. Come on. I know you can't help it. You might submit. You know you can't stop it. You got Manchurian candidated at the football games, at the college football games. I know. You got... Do it. Come. OH. IO. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. What am I doing? My new stereotype of Ohioans is that they know too much about nuts. Apparently. No! I don't believe it. Believe it! Oh. How's the heat in Vancouver right now? I'm headed there tomorrow and I heard it's hot as hell. I mean, listen, this is just like a bad time to ask. Because I'm coming from Orlando where it was horrific. So I think today is like 30 degrees Celsius. I went for like a 2-hour-long walk yesterday and I was like, this is heaven. It's crazy. Like, we kind of got used to the heat by the end of it. Like, it was... You would walk outside and it would be like 103 degrees Fahrenheit according to the Real Feel Index. And you'd be like, wow. It's kind of refreshing out here today. Comparison is the theft of joy. That's pretty true, I suppose. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, that's pretty true. I was in Vancouver last week. That place is paradise. You didn't have to say that. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm not buying a scorpion because it's getting sniped. This 10 pieces for you, librarian. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what? Run half squatted and then you don't need to worry about the order. It's that easy. And then you're going to give me something good next time, I can tell. Ooh. We win these. Hey, look at that. Remember when you met me in the gift shop at Disney? That was so cool, man. Thanks again. See? I'm not making it up. Unless you heard, no, but I never mentioned the gift shop, so you can't be a false positive. You must be the real person. How was your birthday? On Sunday. How was your birthday yesterday? Good luck when school starts. People think I don't remember. I remember. Vulture, dolphin, rhino, lynx, porcupine. Boom. Watch this. I don't want any of this shit. Are you crazy? Where's my lynx? Please stop looking back at the script when doing a bit. Okay. Okay, fine. Sorry. My mistake. Namaste. It was fantastic. We went back to Hollywood Studios and got more knickknacks. Hey, you mean the Hollywood Studios? The very same Hollywood Studios that I said was the best Disney park? I know a lot of people put some respect on the Magic Kingdom. I mean, what can you say about the Magic Kingdom? It's got all those classic Disney elements that you come to know and love. But for me personally, I like the Star Wars land. I like the more modern rides. I think Hollywood Studios was really nice. There's your 10-piece, by the way. Although I will say, Disney World is a joke. Like, it's not a... God didn't create Disney World. God had to create man, and man created Disney World. There's no facsimile to it in nature. We had lunch at the Star Wars Cantina, Disney Hollywood Studios. 3 kids, 2 adults. They said, we're going to put you at the bar. Is that okay? It's a rhetorical question, because you can't say no. So we said, yeah, that's fine. We got shoved into like a little section of the bar like this with a high chair pulled up and an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old in tow with us who are like, what's going on? Looked at the menu. We wanted to get the kids have been eating chicken nuggets all week. Look at the menu. It's like, do you want fucking tauntaun charcuterie or wampa fruit? I was like, I guess we'll take 1 tauntaun charcuterie and 2 wampa fruit. And the dude looked at me and said, you must not be from around here. Why don't you get 1 tauntaun charcuterie or 1 wampa fruit first and see if you can even eat that much? And I said, okay. Here's the thing. He was right. He came out. It was too much food. But it is not for kids. We stayed there for like 5 minutes. And then, well, we finished mostly I just finished the tauntaun charcuterie anyway. But then we went to another restaurant, and I don't even know what to call it. Star Wars Warehouse 7 food detritus. I had the worst meal I've ever had in my entire life, for sure. Now, part of it is on me. It probably wasn't as bad as the Outback Steakhouse, but in the Orlando airport. I had plant-based meatballs with some pita and some cucumber, and I looked at myself in the mirror when I was eating. I looked at my wife, who was eating poke that came with no rice. It's the galaxy far, far away, baby. They do things differently out here. I looked at the kids. I don't even know what the kids were even eating, but they were like, what's going on with this? At least they had chocolate milk for my daughter, though. Poke no rice? Poke with no brim? He got the Denver Nuggets jeans. Hang on, I'm going to slash marker because I got to go to the bathroom.